We got tons of updates about the Lost Caverns of Ixalan coming in 2023. Now this Magic the Gathering set looks like it's going to be a blast. We have Jeff Goldblum, we have crazy reprints, and we have a guy with a T-Rex for a freaking arm. But all of this being said, I think there was something missing from this announcement. I wish Wizards of the Coast would have added a little bit more to this, and I'm going to go over that today. But there's a bunch we got to talk about with the set, so let's get into it. The Lost Caverns of Ixalan is going to be a wild ride of a Magic the Gathering release, going back to the plane of Ixalan and interacting no longer on the surface, but at the core of the planet, using a ton of new creatures, and we are getting special guests and some crazy reprints in an existing slot, and we're going to talk today about how Wizards of the Coast is doing reprints right for this set, and even for Wilds of Eldraine and some recent previous sets. But there's also something missing, and it has to do with the standard announcement that we talked about on this channel in the revitalization of our Magic the Gathering product and adding value to our boxes and to the things that we know and love. So join me today, we're going to go over all of that, and if you haven't yet, make sure you click that subscribe button because we're racing to 6750 subs. You guys are crushing the sub button. I appreciate each and every one of you out there. But it's time to talk Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and all in all, I do think this is going to be a really fun set. Like, hey, who doesn't love slamming down dinosaurs or giant beasts or any of the Ixalan themes in our Magic the Gathering products? It traditionally has been a lot of fun for people who spend their hard-earned money on this cardboard, and I think Lost Caverns is going to continue on that front. And as an additional treat, we've added some crazy things, as we've seen on the forums by now, and if you haven't, hey, check it out, breaking news right here. We are getting some really cool reprints in this product. We are getting a Cavern of Souls reprint. It does look like it's getting the neon ink style treatment, where we will get a multitude of colors plus one super baller version that represents all of the colors, and we're also getting a Mana Crypt reprint. That's right, we are getting Mana Crypt in Lost Caverns of Ixalan. It's going to have the same neon ink treatment, a variety of colors, and then one what looks to be like the ultimate super version. Now there's going to be other special guests that we haven't heard about yet in this product, but I do think reprinting cards this way is a win for Magic the Gathering. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Adding reprints to standard products in this special guests or Strixhaven Mystic Archive or Enchanting Tales or Brothers War Artifact, whatever the schematic series, however you want to phrase it, these little mini subsets which give Commander players and our biggest pool or population of our community the opportunity to get their hands on some powerful cards in standard releases is an amazing alternative to the Commander subsets, which are constantly producing new cards for people to try to interact with in Commander that go alongside of the standard cards you're also trying to stuff in your Commander deck. And like, yes, I know that that's but like transitioning into this little subset series is a massive win. I love the way they do this, and also I believe it lets the normal set stand out by itself a little bit better. In Lost Caverns of Ixalan, much like we saw in Wilds of Eldraine, the set itself is going to have an opportunity to shine. We talk a lot about Commander because, hey, that's the most populous way to play Magic the Gathering, and I believe that that community is relishing the fact that they get back into the regular set of cards and dig through the products and find some things that they really enjoy and want to stick into their Commander decks or build new strategies around, and this is just a massive win in my opinion. Now, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan doing this in the neon ink treatment feels like a bit of a flavor wobble, if you will. Now, I know that we are getting some arts that mimic some, ancient civilizations like Aztecian, Mayan treatment and things of that nature, but I think the neon ink stuff sits a little bit outside of the box, and that goes with a concept in the previous video that we talked about, where in Magic the Gathering right now, when you open a booster pack, sometimes for a given set, the flow can feel very interrupted, right? It's I'm going through the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and then I got a crazy neon ink card, or I'm going through Lord of the Rings, I'm getting some old school art, and then I get a 60s rock poster thrown in there, right? Sometimes the flow can feel a bit off, and I think we might have that here. Now, it's not the worst iteration of what we've seen. These special guests do seem to follow a very similar art pattern to the rest of Lost Caverns of Ixalan. We'll call it directly adjacent, especially with the neon ink treatments, if you haven't looked those up, and I'll try to put them on the screen. And if I haven't put them on the screen, listen, as you can see, I'm getting ready for work, so it's been quite the day already. But Lost Caverns of Ixalan is about more than just the main set. That's right, we are getting the Jurassic Park subset in this product. So just like we saw Transformers in the Brothers War, we seem to be getting Jurassic Park cards in the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and spoiler alert, we're getting Dr. Ian Malcolm. Jeff Goldblum is a playable Magic the Gathering character, and I know there are still tons of you out there that are like, keep the Universes Beyond out of my Magic the Gathering, and if you need to get that out of your system and say that in the comment section, feel free. But that take is just, in my opinion, I don't spend any time on it anymore, because that's not what we're gonna do. Wizards of the Coast has proven we are going to continue to lean into this Universes Beyond thing, and we are going to continue to produce products with outside IP, and as a community, looking at the sales of things like Lord of the Rings, we tend to take to it. But this Jurassic World subset, or Jurassic Park subset, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know the official name. I'm just going to call it the Jurassic Park subset here, because heck, I don't know, that's just what I want to do with it. I really think that this is going to be in a weird spot. We saw things, again, like the Transformers, like we've talked about, like the Secret Lair of the Walking Dead. These subsets, which are small and self-contained and don't really expand on an entire set and give us the opportunity to play a full game of Magic the Gathering in that world, don't tend to hit very well with our community. Now, there's a chance that the Jurassic Park cards live a bit outside of that rule set, as Jurassic Park is just wildly popular, and maybe it's a bit of my bias showing here, but I am excited to get my hands on some of these cards, and for the first time, I might consider collecting the entire subset, just because I think it would be a cool little IP, little nugget, little piece there that I could hold on to. But all of this, just points to a massive positive release. I think this is going to go well. No Magic release is going to go 100% perfect, and everything is going to be exactly as we want it. Listen, there's too many releases, the company is too big, and there's too many people to try to please. No one person is going to like every aspect of every single release. That's just impossible at this point. But I do think that there is something missing. Now, if you stuck around this long, I want you to know this is not a doom and gloom video. I'm excited for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. I think we're going to take to it, and right here, if you want to make sure you're subbed, I'm going to track every single sold listing of sealed product for this release on TCG Player, as I have done for almost every single Magic the Gathering release of this year. But the missing aspect of this release goes back to the idea of bringing back Standard and tying Standard in to be a format woven into the fabric of our community. And what we're missing here is still that digital to physical tie, or that digital to physical melding. And what I mean by that is Standard's getting a lot of cool things. We're getting standalone Standard events. Outside of Friday Night Magic, it seems like there's going to be another event at your local game store. That event is going to have exclusive promos meant just for those players playing Standard. And game stores are going to get exclusive swag, including oversized cool cards to give away for consistently running Standard events. Wizards of the Coast is leaning a lot of support into bringing back Standard. But I still attest that the biggest way to do that is to embrace our Arena community, those who play Magic the Gathering Arena, and giving them the incentive to get out from behind their computer once a week, go to the local game store, and jam some Standard Magic the Gathering. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to more tightly couple the two, the paper Magic aspect and the digital Magic aspect. Now, whether it's done with code cards, as I've said on this channel, and if I remember, again, I'll link a video. If not, again, going to work, give me a little bit of a break here. But I really think that that's what's missing here. If we can find a way to incentivize Arena enthusiasts, or people who love jamming games on Arena, sit up all night and just play Standard on Arena, to get out from behind the computer once a week and go play a Standard event. And to do that, you're going to have to give them some real world value for playing on Arena, or vice versa. You're going to have to give them some Arena value for purchasing real world cards. Heck, we talk about the Arena economy and how terrible it is. Imagine trying to convince someone who is jamming a ton of Standard on Arena to also buy all of the paper cards and then go to the event every single, it's too much demand for that consumer, in my opinion. You have to give them, it's got to be a value proposition. You have to give them a reason to want to buy the standard product, to want to buy a set booster box if you're just an arena enthusiast. And hey, if I'm buying set booster boxes and I have this wall of product behind me and I love Magic and I'm just collecting a bunch of stuff, you have to incentivize me to get on Arena to play some standard, make me fall in love with the format again, and then do what I love doing. Sit down with my friends, sit down with my family, and play Magic the Gathering at the local game store. Now, I know MinMax Games is going to look to revitalize Standard at their store. They're going to do their best with everything Wizards gives them to build that community again, and I'm excited to see that, and I hope that continues. We're seeing Standard going into the Chicago MagicCon, which tickets aren't available yet, but I will be at. I'm going to the Chicago MagicCon. You can mark my words. I will not miss something in my own backyard. I can't wait to get there. Listen, I think Lost Caverns of Ixalan, all the announcements so far have been really cool. I know we're getting some reprints. I know that that's a controversial topic in our community, but zoomed out, looking at the whole announcement and release, just for what it is, I'm very excited, and I hope you are too. Now, later this week, we're going to update the Wilds of Eldraine sales data. It looks like there's a reason that these boxes are consistently selling longer than a standard product usually does. So again, make sure you have notifications turned on so you know when that one goes live. Thank you so much for hanging out. Oh, share this video. If you like conversations about Magic the Gathering, share this video on a social media platform. Facebook, Discord, however you engage with Magic the Gathering conversation. Twitter is a big one, or X, I don't even know. But share this video, help the community grow, and I love new ideas coming into our fold and just having those conversations. Thank you all for hanging out. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh, and I'm going to go try to get a T-Rex for an arm, because how cool would that be? All right, we'll see you later. Goodbye.